Welcome, dear friends, to our class today, 5 tips to prepare for a successful new year. And what a joy to be able to connect with each one of you and those that are going to be listening to the recording or watching the video. Thank you so much. My name is Gloria Ramirez, for those of you who are going to meet me for the first time. And I am very, very happy to be able to facilitate this class. I do this once a month, the first month of the first Thursday of every month. And at this time, at 5 p.m. California time, 8 p.m. Florida time, or Eastern Standard Time. And thank you so much. I think that the topic is quite important because it's the beginning of the year. And a lot of times we don't know exactly how to focus our energy to be able to really create success in during the year, and to be kind of, how can I say, satisfied at the end of the year. And when I was writing this article about 5 tips to prepare for a successful year, because this class is based on that blog, I was really surprised how clear it was for me to compare it to having a blank canvas. And it's totally, we can paint in that canvas whatever it is that we want. And it doesn't matter the colors, it doesn't matter what kind of style we use or anything. We basically can go, obviously, with our personality, right? With that canvas. Well, the same thing is with our and the writing this year, meaning like this chapter of our lives, 2024, is the same thing. Is about us being willing to embark on this new year with the intention of really creating something wonderful, beautiful, harmonious, not only for us, but also for everyone around us. So I feel that the most important thing is to know that we have the ability to create. Sometimes we might say, oh, Gloria, but there are circumstances and situations and people that are problematic and all of that. I understand. I understand that life can be, a series of up and downs. However, remember that the more you are able to focus your energy in a positive way, meaning that you are going to set up the intention that you are going to operate from a space of peace and joy, harmony, everything that is positive. That is how you are creating from that space, meaning that everything starts here in your mind, having positive thoughts, having a positive attitude, speaking language that is edifying instead of putting down yourself or others. So the most important thing I realized when I was writing this article is that I was like, wow, we do have the ability to create our lives according to what we are seeking, but we do have to cooperate with God, meaning that we have to be willing to align with God's essence, with what is positive and beautiful. Because if we do the opposite, let's say, for example, if we focus on fear, right there, we're going to put a block to our good that is supposed to come to us. If we focus on jealousy, the same thing, we put a block. So that's the challenge, that there are many behaviors that sometimes we don't realize we are expressing in our lives that are going to block our good. And what we want to do is remove the veils. And how do we remove the veils? By really focusing on qualities that are positive, that are in alignment with that higher power, whatever way you call your higher power. It could be light, it could be universe, it could be a divine presence, or it could be God. So if the more you align with that higher power, the more you are going to be able to say, oh, wow, here I have an opportunity to really create something beautiful. And if challenges show up in my life, I'm going to be solid and strong. Nothing is going to shake me because I am solid in my faith. I am solid in the principles that I want to continue to live by, live my life by. So you are the really in charge. And so, and then the wonderful news is that with the help of God, we can then really create even beyond our imagination. And so let us envision this blank canvas as our fresh start in 2024, a new chapter in our lives. And let's talk about the 5 tips. As a matter of fact, that's what I came up with, how to prepare to create the best chapter of our lives, because remember, every year it can get better and better and better. And so the first thing to create that new chapter is that somehow we are invited to plan, to create a plan. And planning is essential in any project that you want to pursue, right? So planning. So then as you plan, you are going to be able to organize yourself in the best possible way, and then little by little make choices in your life according to that planning. And obviously things can change, no doubt about it. But the wonderful thing is that you are not going to be intimidated by the changes. As a matter of fact, you are going to be able to see the changes, knowing that God wants to, how can I say, guide you maybe in a different direction. So very important to think about the different areas that you want to do your planning, like career, family, health, or physical activity, relationships, also anything that brings joy into your life, like vacation, fun time, mental wellness, physical wellness, and your spiritual growth. So there are so many different areas. And the good thing is that we can work on those different areas, at least with one idea, one project, one desire that we have for each one of them. Maybe there are some areas that are going to require a little more attention. That's okay too. And then we can go ahead and go a little lighter with the other areas. So it all depends also in where we are in terms of our lives. Obviously, we have children, then the children and activities with children and everything around the children is the priority, no doubt about it, because we have to take care of them and with love, with patience, and with joy. So again, we are going to, from a space of peace, inner peace, from a space of surrendering, meaning that we know that we can come up with the planning, but at the same time, we do have a God that wants to guide us and show us the best way. From that space, then we are going to create the plan, and then have a definite intention to believe that that plan is going to become a reality, that you are going to be able to overcome the obstacles. And also, let's say that an obstacle shows up, you can also ask for divine guidance, in the sense of maybe being guided to do it differently, or to maybe take a different path. It happened to me many years ago when I was when I was selling my house in Florida, and I was going to stay in Florida. And then it happened that I had a conversation with someone who was asking me about my trip to Ananda. I had come to Ananda for 3 months, and this person was asking me all kinds of questions about Ananda. And because I had asked God to guide me, and I said, I'm going to stay in Florida, but if you have a different plan, please let me know. And so what happened is that, sure enough, I asked God to guide me, and sure enough, this person was the person who delivered the message from God, if I can say, by saying, Gloria, if you like Ananda so much, I really believe that your next place is Ananda. And I took it as it was coming. It was a message coming from God. And then the next day I started to do all the arrangements for me to move from Florida to California. Ananda is a spiritual community that is focused on serving, meaning through classes and teaching meditation and yoga and different spiritual programs, and also basically deepening a relationship with God. It's a beautiful, beautiful community in the foothills of the Sierra Nevada in California. So it was such an amazing experience that I was flexible to and change my plans only because I knew I was being guided. And obviously, once I got here, I was like, oh my goodness, this was pure divine guidance. And I have been here for about 9 years. So I'd like to share these 5 tips on how you can also plan or prepare for a very successful new year. These are very, very basic principles that I'm very sure every one of you has heard of before, but sometimes it's nice to hear a reminder, I think. The first one is, let divine wisdom be your guiding light. Isn't it amazing how different it is when we allow our ego, allow God to guide us instead of our ego, that we do our best. And we don't have to be perfect in this, but at least to be willing to have like that presence, that divine guidance to really show us the way. So and the invitation is for you to embrace this essential step in allowing your higher power to guide your life. And sometimes, dear friends, it could be intimidating. It could be scary because you probably think, oh my goodness, if I surrender everything to God, then what is for me to do? Well, the good news is that as we surrender everything to God, God is going to bring us into an amazing and powerful life that is full of joy, of peace, of serving others, of happiness. And it's obviously the best because God always wants the best. I always say that God's plan is 1 trillion times better than our plan. I always say that is 1 trillion times. It's extremely beautiful, perfect, because it comes from the divine. So God wants for you to be successful. He is interested in all areas of our lives, in all of our affairs. But obviously, the wonderful thing is that we must allow him to participate by praying, taking the time to meditate every day, even if it is for a few minutes, but really allow your mind to rest, to just be in silence even for a few minutes. Then obviously to pray and ask God for guidance, to practice the presence during the day. What does it mean? To ask God, what should I do in this situation? Or thank you so much, dear God, for this or for that. Or God, give me the strength for me to overcome this situation. So you can have a conversation constantly with God. So that way God is able to really communicate what his plan is. And then the more you do it, the more you're going to be able to get used to that guidance. And then the wisdom of God is always flowing in and through us, is what is called the movement of God, right? The Om presence. And that wisdom is available to us. But if we are living in fear, if we are, doubtful, if we are critical about ourselves and others, then it's a little difficult to be able to listen to the presence and the guidance of God. So my invitation is to be willing to open your heart and to let His wisdom illuminate your path. And then His wisdom comes as a maybe a whispering, maybe one word, maybe some quote that you found or read somewhere. It comes in so many different ways, or someone sharing something with you. So pay attention. And to pay attention, all you have to do is just be willing to be in the present. And take time every single day to really connect. And you can do it during the day. This is exactly what the saints do. They just talk to God all day. They have God in their minds, in their hearts, and they feel God as the doer, and they are just willing to serve. So it's a beautiful connection. And the more we develop that connection, the more the wisdom of God is going to be our guiding light. Then that's number one. So number two, maintain a positive attitude. This is very, very important. And we know that. I think, so how many times have we heard it? All the time, right? Maintain that positive attitude, because the more you are sending out a vibration that is positive, that's what you are going to bring back into yourself. Is the law of cause and effect, the law of attraction, the law of magnetism. So make a firm commitment to maintain a positive outlook in all aspects of your life. Make a commitment, be intentional about it. If you find yourself being negative, then all you have to do is just use what I share with people in my coaching. Is called the change the story process, or the pivoting process. And you say, number one, this is not what I want. I don't want to have a negative attitude. What is number two? What is it that I want? I want to have a positive attitude. Number three, you create an affirmation. I am willing to have a positive attitude about all aspects of my life. And you do your best to believe that, or otherwise you can fake it, because at the end of the day, your soul is always willing to have a positive attitude about all aspects of your life. So that could be a way to do it. Otherwise, you can pray as well. You can go for a walk. You can go ahead and listen to maybe a message, an inspirational message. You can read the Bible or a sacred book. You can do so many things to shift the energy from negative to positive. Keep in mind that your positive attitude has the power to shape your reality. What do you think happens to people that are constantly negative, that are constantly thinking that something bad is going to happen, that are critical of others, that are gossiping? Not very many good things, unfortunately. So we are building our lives. We are really giving ourselves the gift of saying, I can do this. With God, I can do this. And I have to be strong, instead of, how can I say, like giving into negative habits. I'm going to go ahead and be clear that the positive habits and the positive attitude is going to create a successful new year for me. It's my attitude. And then by radiating positive thoughts, you will open the doors to new opportunities, because that's what is so amazing, that you just open yourself to really possibilities, and the doors open. I promise you that probably, obviously, all of you have had experiences where a door opened that you never thought the door was even there. Why? Because you probably were positive, enthusiastic, and just looking at the glass half filled. and then you were have full, and you were really committing to seeing the possibilities, and sure enough, the doors opportunities open up. And so positive attitude is very, very important. And according to the law of attraction, what you put out into the world, you will receive in return. We know that the law of cause and effect is absolutely, how can I say, like perfect. It never fails. You do something and you have an energy that is coming back in return. And so therefore, it's important for us to be conscious of what we are putting out, so that way we know what we are going to receive back. So again, maintain a positive attitude. That's number 2. Tip number 3 is stay mindful of the incredible potential of your mind. Oh my goodness, dear friends, there are so many books that are written about the power of your mind. I love a book that was written in, I think, 1900s by James Allen, and it's called As a Man Thinketh. I just don't know why, but I love that book because he talks about how your mind is the creator of everything. And yes, so therefore, we have to remember that our thoughts, our language, and our actions have the power to shape our reality. So if that's the case, don't you think that it's important to pay attention? And remember, if you didn't pay attention in the past, and maybe you didn't feel that responsible about paying attention, please forgive yourself. Never put yourself down, ever, ever. Always love yourself. Always know that we do have an opportunity to do it better, an opportunity to move in the right direction. I always say to become a better version of ourselves every day, right? So your thoughts, your language, and your actions are shaping your reality. So with a lot of responsibility, take this message, knowing that you can do it. You can embrace the strength of positive thinking, use the empowering effects of positive language, and then make sure that your actions also not only are positive in the sense of your, how can I say, like impacting your life, but also positive in the sense of impacting in a positive way humanity, our brothers and sisters. And in everything that you want to create in your life, it starts right here in your mind, everything. And it doesn't matter if you just think about all the inventions of the world, and the laptops and computers and all of that. They all started here, and from there, the inventor, was able to believe that it could be a possibility, and little by little took that project into fruition. So that's the same thing. A positive thought is going to create a positive response. And so one way for us to be able to help with that positive mind is to use affirmations. And I think probably all of you have heard of affirmations and the power of affirmations. And as a matter of fact, anytime that you feel that you are being negative, forgive yourself. I have been thinking a lot about this idea of forgiving yourself, and the message from the Bible that says, forgive 70 times 7. And for some reason, I find it fascinating that the way I understand it now is that basically we are being invited or guided to forgive ourselves and others 70 times 7, which means all the time, isn't it? I think that's the message. And so if you feel that you are being negative in a moment, in a moment of your life, forgive yourself and then go ahead and say, I'm gonna go ahead and use an affirmation right now. What's the opposite of, for example, negative thoughts and kind of, how can I say, focusing on negative thoughts? Well, the opposite is obviously concentrating on positive thoughts. So you can say, okay, you always try to find the opposite of the pattern, the opposite of the behavior that is not good. And so in negativity, for example, the opposite of negativity would be positivity, right? So then you say, okay, and then let's go ahead and create an affirmation. Okay, the affirmation could be, I am willing to train my mind to really embrace positive thoughts at all moments. And notice that I said, I am willing. It means that you give yourself a space of just being willing to little by little, step by step, get to that space of really, nurturing positive thoughts. So anytime that you feel that you are in a negative space, do your best to shift the energy to a space that is positive, and then first by choosing a quality that is opposite. For example, you are being critical of yourself, that's a negative thought right there. So you say, no, I'm gonna go ahead and forgive myself for being negative, and I'm going to go ahead and think about what is the opposite of criticism. Well, the opposite of criticism is love, is praising, is being respectful, for example. I'm just saying. And then you say, okay, that's very good. Let's go ahead and see if we can focus on those qualities. And then let's go ahead and create an affirmation. The affirmation would be, I am so happy and grateful now that I respect myself, and I praise myself for the wonderful things that I do, and I love myself, for example. So you can just really use that behavior, not to put yourself down. Don't ever put yourself down. That's not the answer at all. Always be loving. Always say, okay, I forgive myself. I always share this affirmation with people, and it goes something like, I forgive myself. I am innocent because I'm a child of God. I think that affirmation is so beautiful and reminds us on how important it is to be kind to ourselves, right? So when we are kind to ourselves, don't you think that we're going to make more progress in the sense of shifting negative behaviors to positive ones? That, I think, is the best. And so you are an active contributor to creating in creating a successful new year by you being aware of the potential of your mind, by being aware of the importance of paying attention to your thoughts. And then again, always do it with love, with respect, and with compassion. Always do it. You can always shift from from negative energy like criticism to positive energy, which is love, for example. Okay. Then number 4 is stay open-minded. Take the time to reflect on your life experiences regularly and to determine what kind of changes you need to make in your life. But again, I cannot stress enough the importance of doing it from the space of love and not from the space of saying you did it wrong, you did it again, and don't ever call yourself stupid or anything like that, ever. No, that's not acceptable at all. And so go ahead and be open-minded, reflect on the experiences that you have had in your life, and then make the changes whenever is necessary. So let's say that you are looking at a habit that is not the highest, the best. Okay, you forgive yourself. I forgive myself. I am innocent because I'm a child of God. I am now ready to take responsibility, and I'm going to go ahead and start practicing this new habit. And then you go ahead and, let's say, sometimes people talk to me about spending too much time with social media. And okay, I forgive myself. And then you say, okay, I'm not going to put myself down. I'm just going to take action. Okay, what would be the action with social media? 2 days this week, I'm going to go ahead and not participate in looking or being involved with social media. And then I'm going to keep those 2 days a week for maybe a couple of weeks, and then I can increase to 3 days. And then maybe little by little on the fourth day, I can go ahead and do it only for, let's say, half an hour. I'm just, this is an idea. And then little by little, you have shifted your approach, and instead of putting yourself down, you have really created a good plan that is going to work because you are not putting yourself down, you are not criticizing yourself, and you are taking action. So that's the invitation. You go ahead and look forward to embracing those changes. Do not focus on the bad habit or bad behavior at all. Do not put yourself down. Go ahead and only focus on the good habit that you want to develop. Go ahead and affirm that you can do this, that you can really be committed to yourself, to love yourself enough that you can change from any old habit to a new habit, but only you put the energy in the new habit, and you don't talk about the old habit. You don't tell your friends that you have this awful habit, nothing like that. If you need to talk to someone about it, is your coach or God, obviously, and then that's it. Do not put yourself down in front of your friends or family at all. And that's not a good idea. And so very important to just do some introspection, be open-minded about the changes that you need to make, but always make them from the space of love. And then tip number 5, reach out for support. You do not have to do this alone at all. You don't have to be a superhero to try to achieve your dreams alone, to accomplish your desires. You can have the help of, first of all, you can have the help of professionals in the sense of whatever, let's say that you need in the area of accounting, you need an accountant, then you hire a professional. Let's say that to make some changes in your house, you need someone, that a handyman or an architect or whatever, you hire that person. The same thing with your emotions and with your life. You can definitely hire a coach that can help you and guide you. I have to tell you that I have really benefited tremendously from being open to so many people that have helped me as mentors. The other day, I went hiking with 2 friends, and I was sharing with them about my experiences with Les Brown. And he has been a very important mentor in my life. And I remember he used to say, and he still does, there is greatness within you. And I just totally enjoy being in his presence. And he would say to us, the people that he were mentoring, the trainees, let me be your believing eyes until your believing yourself kicks in. And it was real that by me allowing him to speak language to me that was positive, to believe in me, I was able to little by little believe in myself, and very influential person in my life. And the same thing with Bob Proctor and with many other people that had been in my life. And only because I opened myself to really allow them to help me. And I invested a lot of money in any of the programs that I did with them but it was because I definitely wanted to get out of my own negative thinking. And Les Brown used to say, when you are in the picture, you cannot see the frame. That's the thing, that if you don't allow someone to help you, what happens is that you keep going into a vicious circle like a hamster wheel, because you are not seeing, you are thinking with the same thoughts that created the problem. That's why a mentor, a coach is quite important. So very important that that you open yourself to allow others to help you, not only in this area of emotional or life advice, but also in any area, on any other area. For example, if you are a person who wants to learn to play the piano, you hire a professional, or anything that you want to learn, or you take a program, a course online or in person. That's what I'm talking about. So I invite you to consider these 5 tips to prepare for a successful new year, and imagine how fulfilling it will be to reflect about your accomplishments at the end of the year. That has to be quite rewarding. And again, the 5 tips are: let divine wisdom be your guiding light. Number 2, maintain a positive attitude. Number 3, stay mindful of the incredible potential of your mind. Number 4, stay open-minded, and meaning do introspection and see what you need to do to change some of the habits. And number 5, reach out for support. And obviously, to this list, you can add all the things that are already working in your life, which probably is many, obviously. And you can add all of those things, and which are very many. I could have included many more, but I didn't want to make this so long. So I invite you to go ahead and do that. Use the power of visualization. And as a matter of fact, that's what we are going to do right now. I invite you to, just for a few moments, I invite you to go ahead and close your eyes and sit down with your spine straight. And then go ahead and feel, you close your eyes and focus at the point between the eyebrows, and imagine that you are looking straight into a mountaintop. And feel that you are looking into that mountaintop, and then you are right now at the beginning of the mountain. You want to basically go up, escalate the mountain, and then you feel how you are bringing with yourself all these qualities that we have talked about, which is a positive attitude, which is knowing that God is going to be walking with you, which is also thinking positive thoughts, which is knowing that this experience is going to help you to overcome fear or doubt, and then to get the help of the professional guides that are with you and with the group to help you to go up to the mountain. So imagine right now that you have your gear, everything that you need. You are well prepared, and then the guides are there. Maybe with a group of it could be 3 people, 5 people. It doesn't have to be a big group. And then feel how you just look up, totally up, and then you like, I'm there. I am already there. And imagine that you are thinking the same thing about your year, this year. I'm already there. I have already accomplished amazing things in all the areas of my life, career and business and family relationships, physical well-being and spiritual growth, everything. Imagine that you're just so happy because you have been able to really organize your planning from the very beginning, which is right now, the beginning of the year. So imagine that the guides say to you, would you like to just start? And you say, yes, I'm ready. And so imagine how little by little, you start the climbing, and then you feel the presence of a higher power. You can call it whatever you like. And you are going up, and imagine that that higher power is just totally, really, really right there with you, holding your hand, and even in some cases, carrying you. And you feel that amazing love of that higher power, and you just feel, wow, this is good. I feel secure. I feel happy this way. And then feel how you then say, okay, I love to go ahead and affirm that I do have a wonderful positive attitude, and all is really going well. So imagine the things that you are doing right now for a moment to have that positive attitude. So now just feel how you keep going up and just so positive, because you are committed to having a positive attitude. And that's exactly what you're doing this year with your plan every day of the week, every week of the month, every month of the year. You are having that positive attitude, and you just feel so happy that you have obviously the power of God behind you, holding your hand and guiding you. And his light gives you the wisdom to do all the things that you need to do. And then feel how, as you keep climbing the mountain, you feel, oh, I am going to remember that I have to keep my thoughts positive, my language positive, and I just have to, I want to use affirmations. So you go ahead and keep climbing, affirming that it's perfect, it's wonderful, it's a beautiful experience. And even if there are some obstacles, you keep staying positive, positive, positive. And then it's so wonderful. And then feel how you're doing the same this year, every day, every week, every month. You just staying positive, using affirmations and all of that. And then you keep going. The guides are right there with you, because you are obviously, this is the professional help that you have hired. And then you can also just stop and then maybe spend the night in a tent and all of that. And then you reflect about the wonderful things that you did during the day, during the hike. And then the same thing. Life is like hiking. You are, I thinking, sitting and one day a week, and maybe reflecting on how things are going, what changes you need to make, and then you apply those changes in your life, take action, and then you keep moving up and up. And then the next thing you know is that you're just like, wow, this is looking so good. I only have just a few more, a couple of miles to go, and I'm going to get to the top. And that's how you are feeling at the end of this year. You have been able to get to this point because you had put in your effort to really get to that point. And then suddenly you got to the top of the mountain, and you just open your arms, and you just, all you do is say thank you to God. You say thank you to yourself, and you feel just so happy that you have been able to get to that point. And then you just know that the same thing with this year, the end of the year, December, you just open your heart in gratitude to God and say, well done, God, well done. And you say your name and feel how wonderful it is. And then feel how you can repeat this year after year after year. So feel that sense of accomplishment, and totally it has been real. And you can do the same in your real life. So let's go ahead and take a moment to just start coming back, feeling your surroundings. You can move your fingers, your toes, and as soon as you're ready, you can go ahead and open up your eyes. Beautiful. So then my invitation is for you to really, maybe I'll send you this recording and you can go ahead and really listen to it whenever you have a moment, okay? So I'm gonna go ahead and end this recording and see if anyone has any questions or anything like that. Recording.